Hi Stampers, it's 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙚𝙀 from Stamping with Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're joining me for this monthly online card club video tutorial. I'm in Edmonton and we just had a freak rainstorm come through with thunder and lightning, and so I hope that the power stays on. Let's hope here. But I'm so glad that you're joining me. So many of you will be joining me because you received a packet of cards that looks something like this, and you're going to be crafting along with me. If you don't have your supplies, please reach out to me. I can actually send supplies anywhere in Canada, and I would love to have you crafting along with me for either this or any of my previous online monthly card club classes. So I have been a demonstrator now for 19 years. I was in person only for many, many years. And then around 2020, something happened that turned me online. And now I get to reach even more of you. I'm so glad to be reaching you, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, or watching live even. Will you please comment from where you're watching from? Because I love to see who is watching my videos. If you are crafting along with me, all you need are some simple supplies, saying stamps and a neutral ink pad and some adhesives. Sometimes I take it up a notch with a little bit of heat embossing or like Wink of Stella or glitter brushes and things like that. But other than that, really just the basics from your collection will get you crafting along with me. And I always prep all kinds of fun, different supplies for you with lots of textures and die cut pieces so that you really get to play with all of the new supplies that Stampin' Up! Has come out with. So I do want to tell you about a couple of different promotions, and I'm just going to check to make sure that I'm live. Yes, it's saying live. So please, if you are watching live, will you comment along, because that really helps me out to make sure that the sound is good, the video is good. Here's hoping. Every month I run a promotion with a $100 minimum order, and this month you get to have a choice of 4 different supplies. So I was thinking rainbows because of course June is Pride Month, and so I have 4 different products for you to choose from. You can choose the Sunshine and Rainbows 6x6 paper pack, the Oh So Ombre 6x6 paper pack, the Simply Marvelous 6x6 paper pack, or the 12x12 Balmy Blue Glitter Glimmer paper, and that you get 2 sheets of. So let me know what you would like. Place your order online at stampingwithkelly.stampinup.net. A minimum $35 order gets you free card club supplies. And then beyond that, if you purchase over $100, then I give you a free gift. And Stampin' Up! Has a free gift at, or sorry, I shouldn't say free. Purchase with a purchase gift at $100 as well. They have it called their product of the month. So this product of the month, oh my goodness, had my heart as soon as I saw it, because first of all, it's adorable, and secondly, it has a coo in it, like a Highland cow. And we just went to Scotland this last August, and I don't know, it's still in my heart so much. We got to pet and brush coos when we were there, and even see little baby coos. Oh my gosh, they were so gorgeous and so cute. And the mamas were really easygoing with us, which was nice because we had our kids with us. There were actually, how many of us that day? I think there were 13 of us, and we booked a private coo brushing and petting in the paddock. Oh my goodness. Anyways, okay, this wild bunch is adorable. So make sure you get that so you can have your hairy coo experience. The snail is adorable, the koala, and look at this little penguin. Oh my goodness. Some great little stamp sayings. And then you can also use these as backgrounds. You can put a little party hat on any of your animals and a little present to go along with it. So just make sure that you are meeting that $100 minimum threshold, and that has to be after any redemptions. So if you're using Stampin' Rewards, just make sure you keep your total over $100, and then you can redeem for this wild bunch, and it will just cost you $7. This would normally be probably like a $25 to $30 stamp set. So this is a great value at that discounted price. And that is just for June only, and it's only 1 per customer. So I'm sorry I can't hoard them and then give them out afterwards. You got to get them while they're available. So what kind of items could get you up to $100? Well, I mean, you're talking to the wrong gal, because like I need paper, I need adhesives, I need all of my new favorite things out of the mini, oh, I'm calling it mini, but it's not mini, the new 𝙧𝙚𝙘𝙚 calendar. What do we call this? Or sorry, catalog, not calendar. It comes out 3 times a year, so it's thirdly. It's not quarterly, it's thirdly, I guess. Anyways, I'm struggling with this, but it's our new catalog and it's amazing. And it has everything that we need and more, plus the online exclusives and some online core items as well. So make sure you're checking that online store, searching around for the things that you like. I often, because I'm a little bit of a magpie myself, I will search through gold and silver and sparkle as keywords and just make sure that I have all of the shiny things, because that's what I like and I know what I like. And so I want it. And I want more of it. But one great item to get if you're looking at treating yourself is the Stampin' Positioner. So this is for precision stamping. There's also grid paper that fits into it, and it's really easy to use and really satisfying. I love crafting with this because it makes repetition stamping so easy. You just line up your stamps one time and then press the plates down into position, and it will stamp it in the same spot every time. I love the magnets on this one. I think it's even easier to use, and the grid is really, really lovely and wonderful to work with. So definitely add that to your cart if you do a lot of repetition stamping, or if you want to do a repeating pattern, because you can actually take that smaller plate. So there's a bigger plate and a smaller plate. The smaller plate is the one that you see kind of just to the right of that base plate. And that one you can actually hinge down and do a repeating pattern. And if you want to see demos of this, you can take a look at Stampin' Up's website. They have a really quick demo of it as well. Lots of great ideas there too. Okay, what else could you get? Well, there's a whole bunch of, kits that I have in stock, and some of these are available on the online store, which would qualify you for that $100 to get you up to the Wild Bunch, but some of them are only from my stash because they've retired from Stampin' Up. But I wanted to celebrate Pride Month. I've got my rainbow nails on, and I pulled out all of my kits here that have kind of rainbow theme or like a real happy vibe to them, so that we can all celebrate Pride Month together. Whether you're making cards for that or not, these cards are just as happy as you can be, and rainbows are for everyone, frankly. My 6-year-old daughter can't get enough of rainbows. Oh, I'm showing you things, but you can't see them. The rainbows are for everyone. My 6-year-old daughter puts rainbows on every single thing. And you guys can see my rainbow nails there. They're a little bit subdued also because I was washing the floor the other day and they bleached out a little bit too. So that's interesting. These ones might be just from my stash, or it might be from the kits collection online. Just reach out to me if you're trying to work your way towards getting that Wild Bunch for $7, that discounted price. Then just make sure you reach out to me. I can let you know which ones are available and which ones are just from my stash. So this first one here is Sunshine and Smiles, and I wish I didn't have that logo there. I should move around this bag. But this one has a cute little rainbow with a little ducky there. And over here we've got a little kite flying rabbit. And then over here a little frog with an umbrella. And these are trifold cards, so they're really cute when they come together. They kind of like open up and then open down, and then there's a middle piece there. Another one is the So Cool instructions, So Cool kit. I'm reading it. The So Cool kit features 4 different cards, and you get to make 3 of each of them. So it's actually one of our higher card count kits. This one making 12 of them. I love these rainbows, and the envelopes that go along with them are so adorable too. And these ones come with, I should mention as well, a stamp set and an ink spot. So it's complete crafting all in this kit. but you can customize it. So you can put different sayings on the different tags. And I'm happy to be using this one with my partnership with Mount Moriah Homes, which is transitional housing for typically Indigenous youth who are transitioning out of the foster care system and working into independent living. And we do a lot of events together, and I'm doing an event on Canada Day with them with this card kit, as well as a special Canada Day card that I'm doing for them specifically. So if you do want to do any corporate crafting events, I'm happy to come to your office, happy to come to your events and do crafting. I've crafted with up to 300 people, so I can probably handle your event, and I would love to be there and experiencing creativity together, crafting therapy together, and the camaraderie that comes from creating something for the very first time, and the inspiration of being able to give that to someone afterwards and share the love. So I would love to come and craft with you. If you're interested, just reach out to me. I can come to your boardroom. I can do after hours events, lunchtime events, whatever you want to do. I'm really, really flexible that way. So another kit that's been really a hit with all ages, all abilities of crafters, is this Pop-Up Pals kit. This is a unique kit where it actually only features 4 cards, one of each of the 4 designs, but I have them made here, and you'll see why they're so special when I have them opening up. Let me just double check everything is good here. I always have to do this. Oh, Priscilla, bless you. Looking good, sounding good. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that is a help to me. Otherwise, I'm just speaking to the void over here. I'm just alone in my basement, in my crafting studio, and just talking to, yes, nobody. So this first card here, it's your birthday, go bananas. And then inside, this adorable little chimp comes out with his little banana hands. And then this is the one that made me pull it because, of course, it's a rainbow with a adorable little Pegasus. When my daughter saw this one, she just about lost her mind. She's like, oh yes, I like that one a lot, mommy. Yeah, that's the one I like a lot. But it's so great to give this to crafters of all ages. I would say even as young as 5, 6, depending on the ability of your child or the child that you're giving it to. I've given these as birthday party gifts a lot for my kids' friends. And I just love You're Dynamite and You're My Best Friend. This is another one that she just really likes. She's like, wow, it's just so 3D, Mom. It's incredible. It's so amazing. It just looks like they're really there. So these cards come together really quickly and easily. They show you where to put the adhesive, and they include everything, including the adhesive that you'll use. And this one is one of our less expensive ones too, because it doesn't have a stamp set included with it. It's got all of the sayings pre-printed for you, and so that makes your life a lot easier, and it makes it great for beginner crafters who don't have a whole bunch of supplies potentially, or even have the knowledge of how to actually put things together that they've crafted before, right? This is a great beginner kit. Another great kit, which is all-inclusive with pre-printed messages, is this Hooray for Honeycomb kit. This includes 9 different cards, so 3 each of 3 different designs. And the specialty with this one is it includes these little honeycomb shapes that fold open, and you place them on the inside of the cards. This one here, the sample has it on the outside of the card. I would not recommend doing it that way because it's really hard to store. It's impossible to mail. And I think just putting that strawberry onto the inside fold of the card so that it opens up just like this little sun and the balloon, it just works a lot better. So they've got that little rainbow on the front there, and lots of different options for that one. Whoa. My kits are falling all over the place, you guys. And then another kit that I have is Handmade and Heartfelt, and I've got this one made up. It's so beautiful. The stamp set that's included in this one is a really gorgeous saying set, which I know you'll use over and over and over again. And the interesting different part of this is it actually includes this little desk organizer. So this is typically quite an expensive kit actually, because it includes this 3D, like really sturdy item, as well as all these different cards to go into it. So you got the Hello Sunshine, and that's all like 3D with these little cutout openings, 2 of those. But this one is actually on sale on the website right now. Super cheap. Check it out. Again, it's called Handmade and Heartfelt. I think it's like 50% off, so it's a great deal. Wishing you the best with the little seashells, and again, more like 3D pieces here because they're popped up. Then you've got Thinking of You. Again, these are like cutout pieces here, so you can see there's like a little peekaboo to the pattern paper behind. You can customize these. Oh, these ones I didn't make actually as for the kit, because there's like a little peekaboo openings for this one, but I don't have that one actually. Maybe I can show you here. That one ends up looking just like that one. You can see my nails faded out. Isn't that funny how they went ombre? It's supposed to be purple. Never had that happen before. I've also never cleaned my floor for 2 hours by hand, but you know, you discover all kinds of things. I wonder, my hands are probably 3 tones lighter in my skin color as well. This Happy Birthday has this little peekaboo window too, and you can see these little sunburst openings here. And then all of the envelopes to go along with it. Yeah, that was funny. I was like, oh, I've never had my gel nails change, but I guess that's the kryptonite for these gel nails, is like harsh chemicals for cleaning your floor. I also have a few other items that I pulled that give me like Sunshine, Pride, Rainbow vibes. The Sunshine Vibes stamp set and die pack is so cute, and man, I wish I remembered this was still current when Kathy and I were prepping this bonus rainbow card that I am doing for our club this month, because we invented a different way of putting a rainbow together, but this one is so cute. And I wanted to remind you that we had some really cute cards that we made with this one or a similar one. Oh no, this is a different one here. Okay, so this one is current. You can get this as a bundle, and the stamp set and the dies coordinate together, but they're not like matchy-matchy, so you can just get the dies on their own and get those cute little rainbows. If you wanted to get this Rainbow and Happiness bundle, this is one from the past, so it's actually, you can see from my little sticker there, it's from my retired collection, my retired sale that I offer with all of my retired products. So if you are looking for something that is no longer available from Stampin' Up! Anymore, but you may have found it online or something like that, just reach out to me, because I might have it in my stash and I might have it for sale. I just am not super great about posting things, and I hope to have a retired sale in person here coming up soon, but again, that takes planning and a lot of organization and cleaning and being home. So we'll see when it happens, but I'll keep you posted. If you want to be in the loop on that, just make sure you're on my newsletter list, because then you will get the information first. So this Rainbow of Happiness is a great stamp set coordinating die pack, and we made one of my favorite cards ever with this die pack and the designer series paper. This designer series paper is that rainbow one that I'm offering for free with a minimum $100 purchase in June. So reach out to me. I do actually have 2 of those available. I think they're brand new even. So Rainbow of Happiness bundle, you can get those for $48 for the set. And you can check out my card club videos and get the inspiration on how to make this one. And I think I still have card club kits available if you do want to have the prep supplies and make this one yourself. So reach out to me. Okay, we got to talk about some, where's my cursor? There we go. Paper pumpkin. So the last paper pumpkin that came out was called Sparkling Celebration. And I'm so excited about this because I mentioned I was doing that event with Mount Moriah Homes, and they wanted to do Canada Day card, and I thought, oh my goodness, like I don't know what to do with that. But I put together a card that's really cute using the stamp set actually from this kit, which features some fireworks. So I'm doing like a Canada Day-esque card with a very subtle maple leaf in vellum, and I'm really excited about it. But let me show you what the stamp set is, just because I pulled it out for the event. It's in here. So if you're not familiar with paper pumpkin, it's one of my favorite things ever. It is just like joy delivered to my doorstep. It's like a demonstrator in a box. So I'm your demonstrator, and I send all kinds of kits all across Canada, but this is a kit that Stampin' Up! Prepares for me and for you and for anyone who wants to craft along. It has prep supplies in there to make usually about 9 cards. Sometimes they switch it up and make 3D projects or different things like that, but most of the time it's cards. And it includes a stamp set, which this one ends up looking like this. So you've got the trees in silhouette, you've got this great little fireworks burst, these little kind of sparkling stars or firework pieces, and then some great sayings to go along with it. So let's go through this kit a little bit to see what you get. It's so cute. So it has these pre-printed card bases, and I want to show you here because it's not going to do it justice on camera. All of these little stars are metallic, and same thing here with like that, the middle of that little lantern there. This one makes me think of Tangled, you know, the Disney movie with all the lanterns and Rapunzel. Anyways, it's gorgeous. So we've got 3 of those card bases, and you know what I do? They're so printed, so pretty and printed on the back side. I don't want to just have a printed piece on the back side, so I chop it into 2, mount it onto a white cardstock base or something like that, and then I can double my cards. There's even ways of quadrupling, or even sometimes getting up to 30 cards at a time from these kits. If you go into the Paper Pumpkin fan club on Facebook, it's an amazing community with all kinds of inspiration on there and showing you how to maximize your kit and do different varieties of cards with the prep supplies that Stampin' Up! Gives you. Again, metallics, those little filaments are actually metallic there. And then the other card bases here have metallic stars on them. My camera is not showing these very well, but maybe you can see it a little bit there. Gorgeous modeled kind of marble looking base, but it's made to look like sky. Then you've got all these die cut pieces which you pop out. This cute little lantern. These are little windows that you can pop open. Some tags that are laser cut, ready to go. Pre-printed laser cut little light bulbs and firework pieces. You've got adhesives included in the kit. You've got some tear and tape and also dimensionals, little embellishments too. It always comes with a little stamp spot. So this is a mini ink pad that you can use to create your projects. Typically, the only stamping is to do the saying. So even if you purchase a refill kit, you can usually find a saying from your collection that will work along with the tags that are provided and make it work there too. And then finally, last but not least, some gorgeous pre-printed card bases to match your cards. You could even cut those apart and make some more gorgeous projects. I can just imagine all the amazing things that you will make with those. If you're loving on Paper Pumpkin, let's just talk about what the next one is. This one actually might be in my mailbox right now. Stampin' Up! Has been using Canada Post recently. So if you're in a municipality that has those Canada Post boxes for your mailboxes, just maybe take a look in there and make sure that you're not missing it. I should have walked over there today. And then let's go back to my desk. I'm going to take you through 3 new kits as well. These ones in the brown boxes are from our kits collection. So Paper Pumpkin has those like orangey red boxes. And kits collection are a little bit different. So Paper Pumpkin, you don't know what's provided each month. This Bikes and Blooms is the only preview that we have for this. But in these awesome little craft color boxes, like brown boxes, these ones you get to see exactly what you're going to make in the kit, before you purchase it. So if you're the type of person who really likes to know what they're going to get, this kits collection is for you. Also reach out to me because I've got a whole bunch of forms. I actually have over 150 different varieties of kit in stock in my house right now. And that doesn't count the multiples of many of them. So if you want a kit, I'm your girl, okay? Just reach out to me. We'll talk about that more in a minute too, when we talk about our cafe crafting. But Banner Botanicals kit is a new one, and I really like this because the stamp set has these stamps that you can see are connected. And that's important because these are made to go onto these banners that are already cut out so that you just, boom, stamp it and it's perfectly aligned to go with these banners. So the same thing. Here, you make my heart happy and sending you all my love. All of these banners are made to fit with either of these stamps. So this is a great matching set. You get the Secret C Stampin' Spot to go along with that one too. So we have another kit here. This one's called Painted Skies. I opened this one yesterday and my jaw just dropped. It's so pretty. So you can see from the instructions, it's white with this vivid color. And I thought looking at them, oh yeah, I think they might be trifold cards. And I was so right about that. So our card starts out looking something like this. And then you have this panel which opens and it's laser cut. It's so detailed, so intricate. And then on here, I don't know if you can see that, there's actually like canvas. Can you see like the lines going up and across, up and down and across, that make it look like a printed canvas? It is glossy and gorgeous all across the entire thing. And then that panel opens up and then you can write on the inside of your card. So there are different varieties of this cards, these cards in this kit. So let's take a look at them. There's the lighthouse, and that opens up to this gorgeous, like I can't even tell you how beautiful it is in person. It's just stunning. The paper is also thicker than normal too. So this card kit comes across, I think, as a really like luxurious gift kind of experience that you're giving instead of just a card. Ooh, this one's fun. Look at those fun little palm trees. And those open up to this gorgeous printed piece. It's glossy and it's got that canvas look again. And so this one includes everything that you need. And I think, yes, all of the sayings are pre-printed. So you've got English, French, German, and Dutch in here. So lots of different options, as well as the envelopes. These ones are not our basic version. It's actually got the canvas printed kind of glossy paper on it too. It's got all of your adhesives as well. So this one doesn't include a stamp set. It has the sayings pre-printed on there, but I'm telling you, this is a really luxury kit. So Painted Skies is what that one is called. It's a really luxury crafting experience is actually the words that I was looking for. This one is a really fun idea. You'll have to take a look online because we offer a pack of 3 different easels now. And these are kind of like 6 to 8 inches high with like a clipboard kind of easel on the top. And this is kind of to go along with it. So the Radiant Reminders kit aren't cards. These are like decor items. So you can put the 3 of these together and decorate your home, put a picture in there, and it says slow down, stay in the moment. And I love that because I think we all need a reminder for that. Lots of adhesives in this kit. There's no sayings or anything included in it, but it's a really beautiful kit. Okay, so we've talked a lot about Stampin' Up! Kits, and we talked about the amazing crafting experience that you can have when you're using these kits from Stampin' Up! But I want to remind you that I offer a really amazing experience for you to craft with a kit in person, and that's at our cafe crafting events. So I'm holding one this Saturday, which is the day before Father's Day. And how it works is you're going to come to Brew and Bloom in South Edmonton. I have 2 times available, so just hold on and I'll tell you the times, and then you can let me know if you prefer one or the other. I don't really want to hold both of them. I'd like to go with the one that has most people attending. So if you let me know, then I can kind of plan the event around you, which would be wonderful. So how it works is there's no surcharge for the event. Brew and Bloom does not cost anything to rent. They let us come there and craft at the tables and order whatever we want off the menu. It can be as simple as a Diet Coke, or it can be as complicated as coffee and a full meal deal, whatever you prefer. They've got all kinds of things on the menu, and it's so much fun. Everything is beautiful and Instagrammable, and it's a really fun experience to have and space to be in. So how it works is you can go through my forms, and I'm happy to send those to you. Just maybe comment that you want the form link, and I can send you what kits I have available. You can choose from whichever items that you want. It's a minimum $25 kit purchase from me. You can do multiple kits if you want as well, or you can show up by RSVPing. Make sure you do that so that I have a spot for you, and then you can just choose a kit there from the selection that I will have on hand. So I think the preference is, though, to kind of plan in advance, and you can choose the kits that you want. So just make sure you're letting me know about this event. I've got 2 times reserved right now, unfortunately, because I think it's a busy weekend with people going out. The 1 o'clock slot was not available, so I've got 9:30 in the morning, or I've got 2:30 in the afternoon. The 2:31 I think is a little bit easier to swing because they'll be a little bit less busy at that time, so we can stay a little bit longer. So just let me know if you have a preference between the 2 of those. I would love for you to bring your friends. You can bring your children ages 6 and up, as long as you're crafting with them, and each person has their own kit, which is valued at least $25 minimum. And like I said, there's so many kits to choose from, so it's lots of fun to craft together. Just let me know what you'd like to do. I think probably the 2:31 will be a little bit more popular, but let me know if you want that 9:30 slot, and we'll see if we can make it happen for you, okay? So now we're going to get into our actual crafting. So if you are a card club member, or if you have very early on in this month placed a minimum $35 order, you will receive a packet of cards that looks like this, something like this. You might not have this first card. That is because it's a bonus for people who pick up from my house, and instead of me spending the budget on postage, I like to give you a little extra bonus. So this is always a kit card that I include into your monthly card club as a bonus if you pick up from my house. If you're a person who gets their items mailed, no problem. There's just a little surcharge to have that included. So reach out to me if you'd like that extra card whenever you're getting your kits. I will say, oh my goodness, you guys, like I actually sold out of these kits here. So unfortunately, I don't have any more of these available for this month, but I do have a ton available for past months. So reach out to me. You can choose 1 or maybe even up to 2 depending on the size of your order. Card club kits from previous months, which all comes with their online classes to go with them too. So let's start with this first card here. This is from a really cool kit that I don't think I showed you, actually, from my little Pride collection that I pulled out. This is my own Pride collection. This isn't Stampin' Up, but I just pulled everything rainbow because I love rainbows. So this full kit is $21, which is an amazing deal because there is no stamps or ink included. The sayings are already pre-printed and ready to go. So I've got 2 of the cards made, actually, so I'll just walk you through those ones if you do have them. This one here is the thank you one that has the rainbow. So this little pre-printed piece is going to be popped up on dimensionals, but before you do that, loop that little piece of twine back and forth, wrapping it in like thirds basically. So zigzag back and forth, and then you can have it just kind of poking out the sides here. Then I put these up on dimensionals too, and then you've got 5 little diamond or square embellishments that you can put on there. So we've got a dimensional under here, zigzag the thread, dimensionals under here, and then you've got these which just stick right onto your project. This is the same kind of idea. It has the zigzag, which I should show you, because I think this last one uses that same technique. So what I'm talking about zigzag is you take that little piece of thread, which is hiding from me and being very difficult right now. There we go. This is a smaller version of the thread, but you're basically going to zigzag it back and forth. So it makes this kind of a look. It's like a bow, but without the bulk. So if you were to look here, when we look at it, it ends up being 2 loops and 2 tails. But when we put it onto our card, it's just kind of looped back and forth. So it's the same version happening here, the same version happening here. So just wrap it into thirds, and you can put it on with some adhesive. I'll show you what that looks like in a second here. So the card that I'm going to be working on actually has all these cute little hearts which you can pop out. You can use them as embellishments on other projects. You can use them as confetti in the envelope. I love a little glitter bomb confetti. Glitter is like maybe evil though, right? Maybe we'll just go with this confetti bomb. So all these hearts, you can pop them into the card or the envelope. You can save them and use them on other projects. They're adorable to have. But what we're going to do here is have this all popped out. And the wonderful thing is when we get kits, there's 3 of a kind usually of the cards. And so what I like to do is put all 3 of the sheets together, and then I pop out all 3 at the same time, which makes your life a lot easier. So I was just doing one there. I've got lots of little bits and pieces, and I'm going to put this together as like a little bit of a surprise, we'll say, for the person who receives this kit. So when we place this over top of this gorgeous pre-printed watercolor kind of look, we get it coming through in all kinds of fun ways. So I'm just going to use my dimensionals. I'm working with some border pieces actually right now. And you can see I've got kind of weird shaped dimensionals because I use a lot of leftovers from kits. But whenever you're at the end of your dimensionals, so these are these little like pop-up hexagon pieces, then you can snip the border pieces and use those for everything. I love it for these kind of odd shapes. Just like this. You can kind of put them in between. I think that's probably good. Maybe a little bit over here might be nice. I think that'll be good. And you take off the adhesive backing, and we will lay that onto our card base. If you're having trouble getting off the adhesive backing, press down in the middle of the dimensional and that will kind of lift up the edge. So this has a fun little metallic border on it. I don't know if you can see that, but this piece here is got a little bit of a metallic look to it. So because I'm obsessed with dimensionals, I'm going to use dimensionals on the backside of this little tag as well. Before I do that though, I'm going to put my little zigzag on, and I like to do that with a little bit of Stampin' Seal. So Stampin' Seal on the back there, and then I've got that little zigzag that I made earlier, and I can just kind of put that like this, just like a loose little loop with tails coming out like that. Maybe we'll call it like a modern bow, right? And then, oops, so sticky. I've got my little dimensionals here, and I can pop that onto my project. I think they kind of have that just centered in there. And then now on each of the cards, there's even more embellishments. These little squares, or I'm calling them diamonds because that's the configuration that I'm putting them on as. And when we pop those on, it really adds to the sparkle, which I already mentioned is basically my kryptonite, right? And when we put those on, it kind of just finishes up the project so nicely. I usually do like a scattering of 3 and then 2. So on here, I just put 1, 2, 3, and then another 2 down here. On this one, 1, 2, 3, 2 over here. On this one here, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 over here. They're kind of invisible, maybe, until you see that little flash of light. I love these cards though. And thank you cards, I think, are just so awesome for kids to make, especially. And this time of year is a great time of year for kids to be making thank you cards because, of course, we want to honor and cherish and thank our teachers. Oh, I gotta lift up this silicone. I can't do anything with my nails. I want to show you what I'm going to do though. Evil laugh. Oh my goodness, they're staticky. They don't even want to come off my little silicone mat here. If you're wondering about this silicone mat, this is another great way to get up to $100 and treat yourself. This silicone mat comes as a part of the glass mat system, and you will have the most beautiful, clear, stamped images of your life if you purchase this glass mat. I can't craft without it, frankly. They do have little edges, but whenever I craft on the road, I'm always just wishing I had my gorgeous little crafting mat along with me. So, okay, now when this person opens this up, are you guys evil laughing with me? I hope so. It's so funny. They're going to open it up and be like, oh, look at this card. Wow! Okay. Oh, dear. I'm not fully evil, but I do kind of like that a little bit. Okay. I'm going to put all these hearts to the side. All right, your next official club card is from me, a gift to you from me. And I hope that you enjoy the creativity that Kathy and I came up with to create a little rainbow when I thought we didn't have a rainbow die anymore. But let's see if you guys can see how we put this one together. Can you take any guesses? Yeah, Priscilla's doing an evil laugh along with me. I love our mischievousness, Priscilla, because we are not bad in any way in the rest of our life, are we? Yeah, we're pretty much as tame as we can get. Disney loving little freaks who love just surprising people with confetti in their cards, I guess. Okay. This card here is going to have 2 different color combinations, and it ends up looking something like this. So my colors are going to be washed out a little bit just because they're so soft on this card, but I've got a little happy birthday going across there. I've got my little sequins and then my rainbow in vellum going over top of the designer series paper, which I'm giving away as a gift for minimum $100 order this month. And the glimmer paper here is another one of my gifts that you can choose from. So there's 4 different items to choose from. You can choose the glimmer paper, rainbow paper, ombre paper, and marble paper. All of them kind of in like rainbow patterns. So let me show you how to put this together. And I'm also going to give you a little hint because everyone has this card. I accidentally omitted a piece on one of our cards to come. So 2 cards from now, we're going to make a card that looks like this. And I accidentally didn't include the white piece of paper for this card. I'm so sorry. If you want though, you can take the card, like this little piece here that I initially had imagined to do a tag here, and you can switch it up. You can make a smaller tag. Maybe you want to use the 3-panel or like the triple punch here that Stampin' Up! Has. And this one gives you lots of different options and sayings to go in it. So if you want to, this one is sized perfectly to fit onto another card. and you can choose a tag from your selection. We're just using basic white paper here, so it's pretty easily substitutable, but if you're wondering about the size, it is 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to save mine for another card that we're going to craft here. So sorry, I don't make mistakes like that too often, but when I do, I always feel bad. And then I feel a sense of relief a little bit sometimes when it's basic white that I mess up on, because I figure, oh, you know what, if I can pretty much guarantee that someone has this in their collection, it's basic white, right? So let's start by just folding our cardstock base. I like to burnish it with my bone folder, and then we're going to layer up our designer series paper with our glimmer paper. How I do that is just a little bit of Stampin' Seal along the edges, and then I have a peekaboo of whatever amount I want. You can make it small, you can make it large. This is the Balmy Blue glimmer paper, but I don't know, it kind of reads to me as like a bluey silver, not like the true balmy blue color. So we've got that on there. Now you can choose to go across like this, and we're going to glue this down to our card base. I like to line it up perfectly on the one side, and then if there's any excess, then I just flip it over. Usually, you guys know I like to cut like about 1/4 of an inch excess so that you know that I'm planning for you to cut off the excess, but just maybe make a little snip there if you need to get it the proper size. All right, have you guys figured out how I made this? Well, I guess Kathy and I made it. Oh, no, don't end the live video, for goodness sakes, no. My comments are doing a weird thing, but I hope I can see everything that you guys are saying. This is actually made with our Everyday Arches dies. So what we did was take the largest arch and the smallest arch, just like this, with a piece of vellum, which makes it harder to see on video here, and then we just cut out the rectangle piece with these. So you'll get the arch with the stitching here at the top. Then the arch at the bottom cuts out a little like half circle almost, and it has the stitching on that piece, but it doesn't have it on this piece here. So if you didn't want to do that, and if you wanted to go ahead with like what Stampin' Up! Has already made to be put together like that, you can get the Sunshine Vibes, and this die pack has a few different dies that will work like that. This one is the piece that would work kind of perfectly, and this one's a really fun piece which does these little arch strips, kind of freehand looking, so it doesn't cut out this rectangle over piece, but it cuts out just the arches. And then you can also put in these decorative arches here too, so you could have fun with those. And then the Rainbow of Happiness doesn't have a full arch like what we're using on the card here, but it does cut out these cute little arches here, which you can use as a positive or negative. And if you have questions about that, I'm happy to talk to you more and send you the link to the video for the card club project that we used with that set too. Again, that one's been retired for a little while, but doesn't mean it's expired, right? Like, it just means that it's adorable and that you can keep using it, and Stampin' Up! Is just no longer selling it anymore, right? So why not get it from my little retired sale, and you can snatch it up while it's not available to everyone else. Okay, so I've got my arch, but with vellum you can see through it, so we have to be really thoughtful about how we're putting on our adhesive. And so what I'm going to do is make my tag first, and then from there I'm going to pop that out and put the adhesive behind that. So I pulled in a couple of different saying sets that I thought would work well. So Words of Beauty has this big just because, but a lot of the sayings can be used just on their own, and that's what I did on one of my samples here. So I think You're Amazing came from this. You can also put I appreciate you, it's your birthday, you're a great friend. Even You've Been on My Mind would work on this card. So think about different sayings, but I was really excited about like putting a kind of horizontal tag on there. Banner sayings is a bundle with our triple banner punch. These ones have sayings that work perfectly to fit within the 3 different banners available there. So I have, I think, happy birthday mounted up because you always need birthday cards, right? I'm going to put this little strip of white paper to the side. I can totally see myself losing that. If you're wanting to match the colors, petal pink would be the color of the kind of like peachy pinky cardstock base. The green, the light green, is soft seafoam, which I find stamps really, really light, but a coordinating color would be pool party. So either of the petal pink or pool party would be great. I think I'm going to go pool party because I want to bring out that one little arch that I know is pool party in that designer series paper. Whoa! I love stamping and then punching. It's not something that I get to do very often because I'm often sending out pre-punched pieces, but this is how you would actually stamp at home if you had these supplies. So you'd stamp, you'd get your beautiful image there, and then you'd come in with your punch and perfectly center it and pop it out. It's like magic. You don't have to have any real talent at all because your stamping doesn't have to be straight. You just have to be able to punch straight. And so I've got my little banner now. And put that to the side. And then we can glue that on. I like to close up my ink pads as soon as I'm finished with them because they're like a magnet for little fingers. My fingers. All right, I'm going to put my happy birthday tag on there. Kind of centered, and I use my Stamp and Seal for putting that one on. And then now we've got a secret hidden spot for us to put on our dimensionals. So I'm still working with some kind of weird shaped border pieces here, which is going to work perfectly for me. Oh, this one hasn't snipped completely. There we go. So when we pop that on, now this is going to lift the vellum a little bit off of your designer series paper, and it just kind of blurs that designer series paper even more. I love the look of vellum because it just softens whatever is there. It doesn't add another color, it just softens the paper. So you can see the difference there. And then the final finishing touches, we're going to just do a little bow with our twine. Always easier said than done, right? But whenever you finish, whenever you think you've got it tied, then just finesse it, right? It's never perfect the first time that you tie it, but you can finesse it, make it as small as you want. And my favorite way to put on these little bows is with a mini glue dot. I take one and I kind of put it on the side and I roll it up on itself. You can put it on with your, take your pick tool. I'm using my finger today because I don't know why. My take your pick tool is right here. That would have been nice and easy, but hey, it's worked. Once it's on there, then I like to trim off these little tails to whatever length that you like. Then we always have to have the bling, right? I've got some sequins for you. So I put, again, 3 up at the top here. Scattering. It looks like I'm dropping them onto my project and they're just staying stuck there, but meanwhile it's like a very careful aesthetic that I'm going after here. But look at me pretending to be like a carefree, whimsical person. Am I fooling you yet? Oh, I hope so, maybe. So you might have this kind of blue combo. You might have the pinky combo. I've got 3 different types of designer series paper from that pack for you to play with. So I'm going to show you where those items come from. You know what? I actually don't have them flagged in a catalog right now. That's funny. I didn't do that. I'm transitioning apparently in my brain. I'm going to just show you what they are. This is called Words of Beauty. This is a beautiful stamp set that has these big sayings, and there's also a die pack that goes along with it, but lots of great sayings. And I like this neutral font, which works for anything, masculine, feminine. It can work for kids because, of course, kids, some of the first things that they can read are big capital letters. So this is a really great set to go along with that. Banner Sayings is the one that has the bundle with the triple banner punch. I like this one. Consider yourself hugged. I like that one. It's nice to send that in the mail, I think. Of course, always, I'm here for you. Cue the confetti is fun. Maybe that's the card that will get those confetti hearts in it, right? It's like, well, I warned you. The dies for those arches are everyday arches. They have so many different sizes. Like I said, I used the largest and the smallest to kind of put together. Oh gosh, these were nice, but then they would go out of place. But you can see how many different arches there are, because that doesn't even include the two that I used. So the biggest one and the smallest one here are the ones that we use to make our cute arch. And our designer series paper comes from the pack Sunshine and Rainbows, which is just adorable. Like one of my favorites ever. It's got these cute little cloud motifs. You get, I think, 4 of each of them. Yeah. This one's got like confetti. The back sides are super cute. That's like little stripes, bigger stripes. A really beautiful Bermuda Bay. Why is that really hard to say for me tonight? Bermuda Bay. And Pool Party, those squiggly lines. These cute rainbows. And you guys, they go with the die set. This came out together. So can you see this die? It cuts it out perfectly. Or you can do a peekaboo window, which is what we did. Oh my goodness. Where is it? And that adorable little card that I showed you, which I'll put in. I don't know where it is. We did a peekaboo window and then showed this little arch in behind. Sorry, I don't have that one in front of me anymore. Then a kind of blue version of some of those rainbows. I love these. This is kind of my inspiration when I went to get my nails done, to try and do a rainbow that was not like just primary color rainbow on my nails, but a little bit of like a variation of that. And then a smaller rainbow too. And again, the back sides of these are just adorable. So again, that's not available from Stampin' Up! Right now. That's available from me as a gift with a minimum $100 order. These sequins are from our new catalog, Sunset Sparkle Sequins. And they're so cute. They come in like the pinky blue and then orangey rusty colors. And another gift option with a minimum $100 order is this beautiful balmy blue glimmer paper. You would get 2 sheets of 12 by 12, and it's the new style of glimmer paper where you can scratch it and it does not come apart. It's not going to glitter up your house, which is like the best benefit of all. Okay, we're going to move on to the next card, which is our first official card club project. I just keep giving you bonuses here, there, and everywhere, right? This card comes together so gorgeously, and I am obsessed with it. It's so different. It's so like deep and moody, and I don't know if you can see here, this is Berry Burst in a metallic that comes textured. We've got a fern piece here that we're going to put in behind a saying that we're going to stamp onto this little tag here. We've got the embossed Secret Sea with our designer series paper, some gems, and then a very special little sneak peek to the gift that I'm going to be giving away in July. So this card has a couple of different formats. So you might have the hexagon version, or you might have this elongated hexagon version. So whichever one that you have, I just know it's going to be gorgeous for you. I do have to give a shout out though to a swap that I received from 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚, and this is the card that she made for our Make and Mingle card event. This was a full day crafting event that we held on May 23rd. We're holding another one in November. I think it's the 28th. I think that's the date. But she brought swap cards. So the idea with swap cards is you were to make 16 of them of the same design and then hand them in a Ziploc bag. And then behind the scenes, we sort them out, and then you will receive 15 cards back. One goes to us so that we can display it on a board. And this is such an amazing way to get different ideas. So thank you, 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚, for this amazing inspirational card. This one here is a little bit different than what I did, and I'll tell you the changes that I made and why I made them. Okay, so first of all, you'll notice that the designer series paper is just 1/4 of an inch less wide than what she put on there, and the reason for that is 1.5 inches is just amazing math for working with 12 by 12 paper and maximizing your paper. So I'm all about maximizing my paper. I'm prepping a lot of these projects, so I have to make sure that I'm using my paper wisely and that I have enough for everyone without having to open many packs, right? The other difference here is you'll notice her tag is a little bit more detailed looking than mine. And that's because she's got this border stamped onto it. So from the same stamp set, Fern and Flora, there's this stamp that coordinates with the die that is Bundle and Save. So this one is up at the top here. You can see this die here. So she stamped that before she stamped her saying. That's an amazing way of taking it up a notch. Unfortunately, I can't do stamping for you, but if you do have this stamp set, it's a beautiful way of elevating that. You can see that she did that same fern. I was inspired by that so much I wanted to copy that, but she used thread on here, which we don't sell currently. And so I was trying to be creative about a way of making this unique and different, but still having that element of design and a little bit of metallics too, because you guys know I like the shiny things. So I came up with using these elements from a kit that I'm going to be giving away next month. So with a $100 minimum order in July of 2026, you are going to receive the Expressions in Ink ephemera pack. You'll get 5 sheets that look like this, and they're gold foil. They have these really large kind of diamond shaped or big elongated hexagons. You've got the other hexagons, and then you've got smaller versions of the two, which I didn't give to anyone in this packet this month, but who knows, maybe you'll see them next month. Also included in this are these gorgeous laser cut leaves and these little flower sprigs. Those ones I've got a great idea for using next month. So just a little sneak peek at what you've got in store. It comes with 5 sheets of those, and then also these really cute little sequin embellishments. So we're probably going to use those next month too. I love using my freebies that I'm giving out because it gives you a little bit of inspiration on what you can use it for when you receive it for free with a minimum $100 order. And I love gifting to you. Oh man, I can't get that back in the envelope right now. Okay, and then the other change that I made, Karen did a beautiful Berry Burst standard cardstock. I wanted to elevate it to this textured cardstock, and I don't know if you've seen this. It's online. It's an online exclusive, and this might blow out my camera. It's called Garden Textures 12 by 12 Specialty Foil Sheets. Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, and Shaded Spruce are the colors that come in it. They're 12 by 12 sheets, and they do have a texture on them. I don't know if you can see that, but if you have it in your hands, you can definitely see it. So there's the Blueberry Bushel, and there's the Shaded Spruce. Wow, right? My camera can't even capture that at all. So those are the differences between my card and 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚𝙚. Thank you so much, 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚𝙚, for this inspiration. And we really abide by a motto as crafters, which is called CASE. It stands for copy and share everything. And the inspiration is that we will do nothing but build on creativity when we share, and we can be inspired. So copy and share everything. Put it out to the internet. It's always nice to shout out the original creator or the place that you got it from when you're taking inspiration like that. But it is so amazing what other people come up with, and so utilize that. Be inspired by that. And, you know, put your own personal spin on it if you want, or make it exactly as is. That's okay too. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back there and make this beautiful paper come to the side here. I just love how it brings out the berry burst in the designer series paper. I'll take you through that pack in a little bit here. You can see I did the thing where I make it longer. I did it kind of inconsistently this month. Sorry about that. You guys know that's kind of my signature, is I'm like, hey, trim it off, trim it off, trim it off. Here we go. Just put it to the side a little bit. I'm adhering it aligned on one side, and then on the other side, I'm just going to flip it over to the back and snip off the excess. For this one, it works out well because whenever you emboss paper, it shrinks it, because you can imagine now that that paper that was larger now has to fill in all the nooks and crannies of that embossing folder. So usually you're pretty good to have excess, and it's not going to be short when you're using embossing folders like that. Otherwise, I do really like to trim things a little bit long, and so then it makes up for the difference. So now that I've got that trimmed off, I can adhere it onto my cardstock base, making sure I've got my opening the way that I want it. And now we're going to start building up our little tag. So from that same coordinating stamp set that we kind of mentioned a couple of times, this Fern and Flora has a really great saying that makes my heart really happy. So it says, you make the world a better place. Thankful for you would also work. You're an amazing friend, of course, would work. Sincere thanks would even work. But you make the world a better place is just, I don't know, one of my favorite sayings ever. I'm using Peaceful Pine ink. This is one of our new ink colors. And it's actually the same color as the fern that we cut out here. So that would be your matchy-matchy color. You could go with Secret Sea. That's an in color from before, but also included in this designer series paper is Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. So grab a green and get stamping. These are our new magnetic ink pads. So the cases are magnetic. You can flip them open like they're hinged. You can also pull them apart. They work really well for stacking with storage as well. Let's see here. Another one here that I can use. So they adhere, they stick to each other with the magnetic pieces. So this is the new version of the Barely Blush. There we go. So these new ink colors are the only ones that are available in the magnetic version. Every other ink pad is going to be available in the older version, the older style, for this coming year. In 2027, every ink pad color is going to be transitioned to the new magnetic style. Does that mean that your old pads won't work? Well, of course not. I still have ink pads from over 20 years ago when I first started crafting, even before I was a demonstrator. So don't give up on your old ink pads, but I think that many people will enjoy the new ink pads. They're so easy to use. You can open them one-handed. So as opposed to our old style, which I can show you here, they open like a compact, and then you slide them along like this. And then it can be a little bit tricky because you have to like unlock it kind of thing. And I don't know, I find sometimes I get inked up when I'm doing this because they're made to be very snug so that they don't let air in. But not as great for people with limited mobility or arthritis in their hands. And frankly, I just really like that this new style is a similar size. You can see the thickness is the same. The width is a little bit smaller. The length is a little bit longer. So it'll still fit into your storage systems. I'm confident of that. And I'm really excited about these new pads coming. Am I going to replace all my pads? No. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not. And I'm just going to move forward with a new style as they become available in the colors that I would like to replace or receive new. Okay, I'm putting on with Stamp and Seal this little fern in behind. And then I'm also going to put on this little diamond shape or gem shape. Just make sure you're peeling out the little pieces in between. This doesn't have adhesive backing, so you'll have to make sure that you're putting your adhesive on there. But what I'm going to do for this design is make sure I've got adhesive on the sides here. And then I'm going to put it onto my little tag. And then with that, I'm going to put dimensionals over top of it, kind of sandwiching it on there. Oh, I bent my fern. There we go. I'm going to put a third one here just under my fern. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with this card. It's so different looking. It's so elegant and like moody and deep and dark, and the detail on that fern die cut is just spectacular. To finish it off, we've got our little embellishments. Again, I'm putting them just as if they were scattered. Kind of 1, 2, and then a third one down here. I can't even tell you how much I love my silicone. If you don't have this glass mat with the silicone, it's honestly really worth it. You can see this little piece here is actually a little vellum, and that's my little secret that I'm hiding all my lights. I'm making it less reflective, so that's what that's about there, if you're ever wondering. And then same thing up here. I've got lights that are being hidden by my other little silicone, but I can't live without this little silicone because it makes it so easy to pick things up, especially when you have like gel nails like I do. So this is a beautiful card. I think it's a beautiful card to give. It's a wonderful one to receive because you can use this one as like a thank you or a birthday with "you make the world a better place." So that's a saying to me that I'm going to hold on to for a long time. And again, that comes from the Fern and Flora, which has these beautiful images as well as great sayings. The dies that go along with it have standalone dies like the fern that we used. Then there's, oh, what do we call these ones? Oh my goodness, I knew I was going to forget this. It's like those, like the garlic that you eat. Is it garlic? You have to boil it first and then you eat it. And I can't remember the name of it right now. But of course it was clear in my mind yesterday. So a whole bunch of other vegetation, including this curled up fern, which is really cute. Oh, this is the one maybe. Okay, what is it? What's the word? If anyone thinks of the word, will you please write it? I would appreciate that. You've got butterflies and moths. You've got the dies to cut out all of these different images as well as a tag. This one here is one that kind of puzzled me when we were first looking at it. So you can see it almost looks like butterflies, but it's actually made to be used as flowers. So when we were at the Stampin' Up! Conference in Long Beach earlier this year, me and, thousands of my other demonstrator friends got together and we did an after hours crafting event. And this is one of the cards that we made here. You can see all the gorgeous die cuts, a little bit of stamping there. But these flowers are made with these dies. So what you end up taking is what looks like a butterfly, and you put a butterfly cross with a butterfly. If you think about it like bow ties, you've got like one bow tie going this way, one bow tie going that way. And that's how you put these flowers together. This one here is just using this little petal to make it look like it's sideways, but I just love the look of this. I think it's so pretty. The other cards that we made are this one here, which was really pretty. the gold die cut there. This is a really stunning card in person. You use the stamp set and do a repeating pattern of this one leaf going over in the background, just onto white cardstock. Then you take a blending brush with this Lost Lagoon kind of bluey color and swirl it up over the bottom so that you can apply the ink in that way. And then on a separate piece of paper, you stamp this little fern and die cut it, and then do the same thing with a little bit of ink application at the bottom there. Put your little saying on there, your little butterfly at the end, and these little gemstones are so pretty. Another card that we made there was You Make the World a Better Place, featuring this designer series paper on the background and then some die cuts here. Isn't this a fun way of using this stamp set? This is one stamp here, and you just stamp it once as like a background image. You could also do a repeating background image, which would be really pretty. So with Stampin' Up! Sets, we've got this as a suite actually, and that comes with the designer series paper. Fiddleheads! Oh my gosh! Sorry. Fiddleheads? Fiddleheads, right? It came to me. Fiddleheads. Yum! Apparently they're available in markets in Canada right now. Sorry, that kind of came out of nowhere. But I remember it. It was in the middle of the night tonight. So our designer series paper has the beautiful ferns and fiddleheads in there. You can also use this for 12 by 12 memory keeping and scrapbooking too. You can just see this gorgeous piece. There's another piece actually that's really pretty like that too. You get 2 sheets of each of these, so you've got lots of different options. You can see this one has a little bit more of like that golden glow in color in there too. All right, what else do we have in this set? Some beautiful leaves and some more ferns. And the back sides go into like a little bit more of like repeating pattern kind of graphic version of these designs. Cute, right? So dark and deep and moody and so different. It looks like you're walking into like a forest glen at night. You might even see a fairy in there, right? These embellishments that we're using are from that same suite. They're called Dewdrop embellishments, coming with 3 different colors. We've got clear, and then I think this is an old olive color and a secret sea color. So really beautiful and lots of shine and dimension on those. I think I talked to you already about this beautiful textured paper. That again is called Garden Textures 12 by 12 Specialty Foil Sheets. Anyone who wants these lists, just send me a message and I can add you to my newsletter list. My newsletter list will get full instructions linked to the email with paper dimensions and everything starting tomorrow. So that is definitely a huge perk for my email subscribers. The last product that we used for this one is last but not least, because I think it does most of the heavy lifting of this project, but that gorgeous textured paper in the background. We did the Secret Sea color, which is an in color from the previous round, which is continuing on for another year, but this embossing folder does a beautiful job of really giving a lot of texture because it's that 3D embossing folder. So make sure you're checking out that suite. It's a gorgeous one. All right, next card. And this is where you're going to pull in that banner piece that you might have left over from that rainbow card. You guys ready for this one? You might have a yellow background, you might have a pink version of this one, but I'll show you both. So this one has a card with these butterflies on there, popped up, a nice popped up saying, and then a scallop trim. But I'm telling you, the best part of this card is getting to feel it in person because this is flocked paper. They're calling it velveteen paper. And it is really, really fun. So this little scallop piece is velvet. There's velvet pieces embossed kind of onto this designer series paper. And then these butterflies are actually cut out with a butterfly punch out of this flocked velveteen paper. So this is really fun paper. Like I said, you can do a lot of things with it. You can punch it out, you can die cut it, you could add it as a strip if you wanted to. And then here, to get the butterfly images on there, I've actually stamped onto it too. So if you do happen to have the All Aflutter, this is bundle and save 10% with the butterfly triple punch. And you'll notice when you receive this set that there's 3 different versions of these butterflies. They still have that configuration of 3 of them together. So one is highly detailed with kind of an outline, one is more detailed with like a solid image, and then one is fully solid. So you could actually do 3-step stamping and layer up the colors. What I like to do often is, like, this is a full stamped image. So you stamp on the ink pad and you stamp on your paper. This one here I like to do stamped off. So the same color as this one, but instead of inking it up and stamping on your paper, you ink it up, stamp on a scrap piece of paper, and then stamp a second version to get a lighter color of the version that you have here. And then this one, you can go over top even with a black, and that would be really stunning. But the wonderful part is that when you go to punch this out, your punch is going to align perfectly every time with these beautiful butterflies. What I will suggest to you, though, to make sure you're not kind of warping the alignment here, is when you're laying it out, try to lay it out onto your plate or whatever background mat you have, and then use your block to pick it up. Okay, that's going to make it so, because you can see I can warp this and I can make it go completely sideways. Then it's not going to work with the punch, right? But if you are laying it down really, really nicely without warping it, then you should have no issues. You can just pick it up like that. So there's my little tip for you, okay? Oh, these butterflies are so cute. Oh, how do we go back together here? You can see a bit of an outline. Yes, just like that. Okay, so All Aflutter is the name of that bundle. There aren't very many bundles with punches, but I sure love them because punches are so satisfying. And like I said, you can use them for all different types of material, even this gorgeous new velveteen paper. So the saying that I'm using is also from All Aflutter. So I have, "You are so appreciated," but thinking of you today would also work really well. Any of your longer sayings, even something like a couple of cards ago when we were using the longer tag, this Words of Beauty has lots of nice long sayings there. So just take a look at your selection of sayings, and hopefully you've got one that will fit nicely on there. In terms of ink color, you could use a few different kinds. So here I've actually used the same ink color as our previous card, our fern card. It's that Peaceful Pine, which is the green that's featured in this designer series paper. So not just for Christmas, that Peaceful Pine. It is for spring flowers, for moody ferns. You can use that on everything, right? So I might use that one actually this time. But for stamping onto your butterflies, I'm going to show you a little technique if you do have that stamp set. If you don't, I'm sorry. You will have gorgeous butterfly silhouettes though, and that will be very nice too. But if you do have that detailed kind of outline version of the butterflies, you can grab that, put it onto a block, and I'd recommend either Bubble Bath or Barely Blush. I'm going to use Bubble Bath this time because I found that that worked a little bit better onto the pink color here. The Barely Blush was a little bit light even on the white, so I'll put that one to the side. I'll show you this one here. We're going to do our saying, which I have in the drawer here, all ready to go. And I'm going to do that one first. So Peaceful Pine is the color that I'm using here for this. You are so appreciated. Also because I used it yesterday and I didn't clean my stamps, so That's the color for today. You can go from light to dark, but you can't go from dark to light. Then you'll see in your beautiful bubble bath ink pad, you are so appreciated, and that's less ideal. And then our bubble bath is going to go onto our butterflies. And now that that's inked up, I can do this kind of like reverse stamping technique. Normally what you would do is stamp it onto paper and then punch it out, but because you've got the punched pieces already in your pack here, I'm going to do a reverse where I lay it down and I stamp. So I wanted to show you that even though this paper is so soft and kind of fluffy, that velveteen color, you can actually get a gorgeous, I'm not going to show it there. Let's see if that will show it. A gorgeous stamped image right onto this fluffy velveteen paper that has a lot of texture. So think about the versatility of this paper. It's not just for adding a little strip of, you know, texture onto your projects. You can actually use it for stamping techniques too. And this may or may not work in terms of being centered, but hey, I think it's worth a shot, right? I'm up for a little adventure, are you? Oh, it worked out so well. I should go buy a lottery ticket. That's my lucky day. Okay, now I've got all my stamp pieces. We can work on putting these together to create our beautiful card. So happy with this really yellow, like happy yellow base. This is our Daffodil Delight, and I went straight off of the Designer Series paper colors. Now, I love creativity, but I love restrained creativity. Creativity with guardrails, let's call it. And for me, Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper is just that. It's like someone has made a beautiful design that speaks to me aesthetically, that I can pair with other products to really elevate it, but I don't have to come up with the colors that go with it. I don't have to make the design, and I can just look to the list and see which colors they used and have my products coordinate perfectly. So what do we call this? Creativity with guardrails, right? Okay, so I just did a snip. It's an angled snip. And like I said early in the video, I'm so sorry. I omitted this little strip of paper. It's supposed to be 3/4 of an inch wide. And it can be as long as you want, but mine ends up being about 4 inches long once I've done my snip. And that's just based off of my saying. I have a little bit of a space on the right hand side. I make a bit of a space on the left hand side to match, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back which will hold on this beautiful velveteen scallop, which I'm putting maybe like 3/8 of an inch or like 1/2 centimeter from the right hand side there. Once I've got that stuck on, I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals, 3 or 4 on the back side there. And I'm also going to put dimensionals on the back side of these cute little butterflies. I'm aligning this on the right hand side, maybe making it about centered here, going over the paper just for that layered look. Really simple card layout, but for me it's all about the texture. Are you a textural person too? It's like whenever I'm shopping by feel. If I like the color, then I touch it, then it passes the second test. And then I check it in the fit, right? Like I check it in the, what's it called? Change room. And then if it makes through all those different guardrails then, or passcodes, I don't know, what do you call it? If it passes the test for all 3 of those, then it can join me in my house. Okay, here we go. We've got our little embellishments on there. Aren't these cute? They're really, really textured, detailed flowers. But I love this card for, you know, the textural elements. So we've got those butterflies. They could be just outlines. They could be stamped on there. That would look cute too. This paper is flocked. I don't know if you can see it there. You can see here, up here, and it's got that beautiful texture on there. velveteen is what they're called technically. Let me show you where it is on this paper here. So you can see this paper is really beautiful design, and then when you flip it up you can see there's these little flowers kind of spaced apart. So it's not the big flowers, it's the center of the big flowers, but these little flowers on the side, that's what actually is fuzzy. So pretty. So again, this is from another one of our suites in the catalog. I should just quickly show you these suites. Actually, they're easy enough to flip to. Oh. So the previous card was done with the Fern and Flora suite, which, come on, is here. Sorry, Moonlit Flora on page 34. And you can see all the products that I took you through shown there in a really nice way, as well as a lot of inspiration. The one that we just finished here is not that one. Here it is, Velvet Meadow. So you can see totally different color scheme going on here. It's really fresh and very soft colors with a hit of berry burst in there too, which really gives that like fun vibrancy. But I'll take you through the products, but that's where you find them, is on page 32 and other places in the catalog too, which they reference. If you don't have a catalog, please reach out to me. I'd love to get one to you, especially now that they don't cost $8 to mail. I can send them anywhere in Canada. I'd love for you to see what we've got going on in your hot little hands. This paper here is one of my favorites. So you can see there's a lot going on in terms of like a mottled look of white and this peaceful pine color. But then when I put it to the side, then you can really see that texture pop out. So you can see how fuzzy it really is all over here. So pretty. Yeah, I just love that fuzzy paper. This one has a little bit of fuzziness on it, so you can see those little flowers up at the top here and the bottom. These are made to be turned into like card fronts. So you would take a little piece like this, put it onto a card base, and then that would be the front of your card. This is a really great one for scrapbooking, or if you wanted to chop that into littler pieces, you can. As I tip it up here, you can see what's flocked here are these little white flower bursts. So not all the big ones, just the white flower bursts. When you open up this pack of paper though, and when you grab it, it feels almost 3 times as thick as a regular cardstock pack, or sorry, Designer Series paper pack. This one here, all of the white is actually flocked. So as I tilt it up, you can see how fluffy and fuzzy that is in that velveteen style. And then we also have the full velveteen paper. So that one's called Velvet Meadow Designer Series paper. And then these full sheets of velveteen paper in the 3 colors there. So Bubble Bath, I believe, Bubble Bath, Peaceful Pine, and White. And these ones have beautiful texture on them. You can see that you can do die cutting with them and punching. You can do all kinds of fun techniques with those. Stamping on them like I did with those butterflies. Lots of versatility there. And fuzzy. We've got these cute embellishments. They come in the 3 different colors. White, Bubble Bath, and Berry Burst, and they're called Dreamy Flowers. Those are included in the suite as well. And let's see if we can get the camera to pick up on the dimension of those flowers. Can you guys see how much like the lines on the flowers actually show? This is probably something that you can just see in real life, but I always try. I try my best to show it. And we talked about that bundle with all the flutter stamps and the punch, and then this little scallop border piece, which might be different depending on which card design you got. It might be kind of a larger scallop or a little smaller scallop there. That actually comes from the Bordered in Beauty dies. These ones have a lot of borders and a lot of scallop borders at that, actually. So these ones have a bigger scallop, a smaller scallop, a medium-sized scallop, a scallop trim piece that you can put on there. And this is really fun. This is like brackets. Look at how big this scallop is. It's massive. Then you got zigzags. I really like this one. It's got the heart-shaped openings to go with the stamp so that you can perfectly align with the stamp, and then it just cuts out underneath. So you'll end up with like a scallop border with stamps on the top of it. This one has this like leaf or flower pattern cut out, and then you've got this great little tab piece, brackets, and a whole bunch of tags that you can use with this awesome die pack. Really, really fun. And that's your card for you. We've got one card left, and you know what it is, because we haven't done one yet. It's our fun fold. So it looks something like this. And we're going to make a project that, I don't know, I wish I knew the name of it. I should have looked it up maybe. It starts off looking kind of like a little bit plain. It's got a bit of a Z fold in there. And my camera is washing that out, but I've got some white heat embossing that I did on there for my saying. And we're going to do some coloring here, some shimmer, but the real wow factor is when you open up the project, and then there's a secondary panel that's held up with like a tube or a little tower piece that kind of pops up along with it. So you kind of get to showcase a lot of designer series paper. I've got two different kinds that I'm showcasing here. This line art version that comes in black and white. I added a bit of color to it. I'm going to show you how. And then this graphic version here that has this ombre look. And it might be, whoops, it might be a little bit darker. So you might have a little bit of a different color scheme going on. But either way, we've got this awesome card which stands and shows your message and shows the front of your card so nicely too. So let's start making that together. This is a style of Z fold. So we're going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And when I'm doing that, I'm always going to burnish from the back side with darker colors. This is especially the case with our very deep colors because you kind of get a sheen to it where you burnish it. So you want to make sure that that's going onto the hidden side. So I did it here. That's going to be hidden from the front. And then for this middle panel here, I went from the back side. That's just a little tip for you to elevate your crafting. Again, that's like next level crafting. Don't worry if you don't do it on a regular basis. People probably won't notice. Another thing to keep in mind with this is our regular cardstock that's 8.5 by 11. If you're using the 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock, which is kind of used a little bit more for scrapbooking or certain dimensions because it's a little bit thinner. It's like designer series paperweight. You really have to be careful with the dark colors. If you have any oils on your fingers or hand creams, things like that, that will actually give you fingerprints on your paper. So just make sure when you're using that style of paper that you are washing your hands just before it to make sure that you've got a really nice clean set of fingers to be working on your projects. And usually I mentioned this earlier, but I always like to remind you that you can save these little envelopes that I send the supplies in. They're great for mailing and also for when you're storing your cards so that these little embellishments don't come off and everything stays perfectly where you put it and doesn't get bent out of shape. So once you're finished storing it, you definitely can write on the back side. What I like to do is I have a little stamp that I put on there, and then I'll write out the address and just slip that inside. I just use that with photocopy paper. So there's a little tip for you. Let's start from the back side and work our way up. We're going to do some coloring as we go, and I'm going to showcase some pretty new amazing tools that are going to blow your mind, because I did all the coloring here with our new shimmer brushes. These come with 5 different color varieties. I want one in every Stampin' Up! Color, but these are our new in colors, which just joined us this May and are going to be around for 2 years. So Hydrangea Hue, Peaceful Pine, Golden Glow, Barely Blush and Crisp Cantaloupe. Crisp Cantaloupe is a returning color, but we've definitely never had the shimmer brush before. These are available separately, and in Canada, I think they're $13.50 or something like that. So very reasonable considering the fact that you get the shimmer and also the color all in one. When you receive them, they're going to have a little white circle that comes here. So you have to unscrew this so that this little piece here will puncture the reservoir and get the ink flowing from the container in the back through here, the regulator, onto the brush tip. And when you're using the brush tip, I'll just use this as an example, we can really do a beautiful job of painting nice fine lines, or you can even start doing a little bit more detailed watercoloring. Like you can see, I added lots of dimension on this one by going over top in certain places to make the color look deeper in certain spots. You can add many different layers for that. For this one, I'm just going to kind of do a little swooshy outline wherever Stampin' Up! Has done the lines there. And since we're talking about it, why don't we just color the rest of it too? So Peaceful Pine, and I can be as fussy as I want or as loose as I want, because I'm going to be doing the fussy cutting around this. So sorry for those of you who don't like fussy cutting, but we're going to do a little fussy cutting today, and I promise you it's going to be worthwhile because it's going to look so pretty once it's all together. I had a lot of fun painting a few different samples. The designer series paper that this gets cut out of has a bunch that kind of are half cut by the edge of the paper. So let me show you what those ones look like too. This one just had leaves, so it was really fun to play around with that and really get deep color. So I didn't use two different colors, I just used layers of the same color to go over this different spots and get that different technique. And so the same sort of thing with these ones, I was just playing around. With this, I just did a little bit of a loose water, kind of like what I'm doing on this one. With this one, I had it more of like an opaque style urn or vase. And so I colored in the whole thing. Such beautiful application. It's so easy to do with these beautiful shimmer pens, these shimmer brushes. I'm going to go with Crisp Cantaloupe for these ones. Bring out a little bit more of this color. That'll be better on video too, because then you can actually see that I'm doing something here. Not just painting that Barely Blush on there and having it disappear away. Oh, it's so nice. And then what should I do here? I was going to paint it kind of like I did here. I don't know if you can even see that because I used the Barely Blush, like I said. But I've colored in these little rosettes. And I think it looks really pretty, but maybe I should do that with this one. Do you think I can apply the color really fast? I might do some of them. I might do all of them. But let's just get this going here. This is a little bit more visible. It's better on video. That Barely Blush you can see in person, but yeah, it's pretty subtle when it's being trying to be picked up by the camera. I love these brush tips. The flow is really nice, and the brush texture is really nice. It's nice synthetic brush bristles, and so I find they bend nicely. It's a nice length so that I get enough flex that I feel like I can control the brush, but it's not so firm that, like a makeup brush sometimes where you have really direct application, it's kind of got a little bit of a larger, longer brush. Oh, I might have to speed this up just because I know you guys like coloring, but I don't know if you want to see me color for this long. Let's just see. I'll do a few more here. If you find you need a little bit more, you can press where it says push, and that will fill the reservoir a little bit and we'll get the ink flowing. You don't want to do it always, like consistently, but you can do it kind of a little bit here and there. Oh, this is fun. I could do this all day. Who am I kidding? I'm going to do this. I love it. So pretty. It paints out shimmer just like our 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙀, but the 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙀 only has that platinum kind of color, which is technically called clear, but I call it a platinum color because it has that little bit of like silvery shimmer in it. This has that, but not necessarily like silver. It's more of like a clear shimmer. And then the solution that gets painted out actually has the color in it as well. And so it's not the glitter that has color, it's the solution that you're painting the glitter on with that has the color. Let's see. I did that pretty fast. Oh, a little bit over there. I'm sure you guys are yelling at me like, get at that spot over there. So this looks really pretty. I love the way that this has come together. And it's, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's got this shimmer on there and it's so pretty. So let me just keep going here. The reason why I'm coloring this is because I could finish it up later, but once I get this assembled, it makes it a little bit difficult to color. So I'm just going to do it here now together. You could even color in those leaves if you wanted to. And if you don't have these shimmer brushes, the operable word being yet, then you could use a water painter with very, very little water application. Very little, okay? Like the fastest watercoloring you've done in your life, with a Kleenex on hand to blot any excess water. And you could do that with our reinkers. Another great way of watercoloring or getting that watercolor look is with our watercolor pencils and our blender pens. Those are double-sided pens that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the water painters have that reservoir that you put water into, and then a paintbrush that looks something like this. And you can use those with reinkers or with your ink pads. If you smush your ink pad onto a block, you can use the block as a palette. Use a paintbrush to pick up from the palette and work from there. If you have your silicone mat, you can use this section here for that. It works really well. The other way that you can use, like I said, was these watercolor pencils that you can get, and then you can use these blender pens. These come in a pack of 3 with a clear solution inside, and they're double-sided, so you actually get 6 tips when you purchase a pack. You can use those with a whole bunch of different supplies. I was mentioning the watercolor pencils, which are like a pencil crayon. You would color onto your project and then you can blend from there, or you can actually use those with reinkers or your ink pads as well, using that same kind of technique where you're making a palette and then using the tip of this brush to pick up the color and then spread it onto your project. So there's a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. And you know what? I've been doing Card Club monthly for so many years online. I've got tons of different projects and techniques shown. So make sure you check out my YouTube channel if you're not already there. Stamping with Kelly is my name on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So take a look there and you can see all the inspiration for all my past classes. There's such a wealth of information there at your disposal. So I'm going to now put those onto my card base. It dries really fast. It's like an alcohol-based solution. So you don't have to worry about leaving it for a long time. So I'll put that on. Put this one on. Oh, you know what I didn't do is the thing that I tried so hard to make sure happened. I made it a repeating pattern. You guys, I didn't check it beforehand. There's the repeating pattern there. Do I do it? I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to teach you a technique while I do this and pull this apart. If you ever make a mistake with your adhesive, just use the heat of your breath. This was not as popular during the COVID times, but I think we're good now, right? And you're just going to soften the adhesive. You could also use your heat tool. That's a little bit less exciting. But you can use your heat tool. That softens the adhesive. It'll peel right off. Just like that. And now I can put that piece so that my pattern is going to be continuous. Oh my goodness. Why am I like this? I don't know. See, look at that, you guys. I pieced it up perfectly as I was sorting all of these. And if you want to take me up on that continuous pattern offer, you just go to town there. Ooh, it's so pretty. So I've got this pattern now. I've got it colored in. You could use black and white too. That's no problem at all. And now let's put our little tube construction in, which is going to hold on our inner piece. I've got this little piece here. It's 2 inches tall, scoring at 5/8 of an inch. We're going to put tear and tape on in 2 different stages, just because that is a little bit easier for me to kind of communicate to you. So the tear and tape is going to go on the leftmost panel and the rightmost panel, close up against this little score line. There we go. And then we're going to keep that handy because we're going to use it again to hold on our other piece. Okay, now to adhere this to the card, I'm just going to pinch and fold it in half. It's okay if it's not perfect, but it should kind of be aligned top and bottom. Put it into the edge there, and then you're going to just fold this down onto it. And now we've got this piece that will lift up and hold our center panel as a 3D format. And it doesn't have to fold completely open, but it's kind of nice if you work it both ways and you just stretch it out a little bit so that it folds both ways. Now that I know which piece is going to be the topmost piece, I can put my tear and tape on there. You just wouldn't want to have it on the other side, right? That's why we do this in 2 different stages. That's going to wait for a minute while we figure out which is the shiny side of your vellum. So this is our new iridescent vellum, which has one side, you can see, not shiny, one side very shiny. We want the shiny side. So let's take one of these and glue it down onto the shiny side. That's going to be that cute little border. And then that's going to go onto the inside of our card. You can stamp a saying on the inside. I left it. It's kind of a smaller piece. I usually have a lot of names to write, or a lot of nice messages to write. And I like to center that just along the edge here and centered it top and bottom, pressing on there, and then it will fit nicely onto your card. For the front piece, we're going to do a little technique with your bubble bath. Nope, this is not bubble bath. This is Barely Blush ribbon. I'm doing a little bit of a tie technique that is very neat and clean. You just tie a knot into the ribbon, and then we're going to wrap it around. Before I do that, though, good idea is to excuse me, get your stamping done. So a saying of your choice, I'm using from Sending Salutations. This is one that I think is just perfect. Sending best wishes for health and healing. I thought this was a really nice card to be displayed on a mantle that would really showcase your love for a person who's maybe going through a tough time, or maybe who needs a little bit of extra love in the form of a card to be reminding them to heal well. Maybe you have a friend like my friend who just had knee surgery and who's recovering from that. Shh, don't tell her. She's going to get this card. Sending best wishes for health and healing. Okay, you can see I stamped it in my Versamark ink. That's a tone-on-tone ink, but it's also super sticky, which is what we use for our heat embossing. So I'm just going to scoop up my white embossing powder onto there. And then you might want to use take your pick tool if you still have a couple little speckles there that are kind of on the side. You can use the putty tip to stick those up off of your project, so when you do your heat embossing, it's just perfect. I don't know if you can see this. It's really quite, almost looks flocked right now. It's fluffy. But as I do the heat embossing here, it's going to melt that powder into the paper, turning it shiny and sealing it onto the paper, completely on there. And it's so beautiful when you use white embossing powder. It just gives it a real fun look. And this is kind of looking quite 3D still as we kind of look at it from the top. So you got the sending best wishes for health and healing, and you can see there that it's kind of shiny on the paper, but now that I touch it when it's cooled, it's actually totally sealed onto that paper. You could even put ink over the top of it and it would repel the ink. So now I'm going to wrap my little bit of ribbon around here. I'm going to live on the crazy side and put just a little bit of adhesive on the front. If that's too crazy for you, you can put adhesive on the back of the ribbon or just on the sides, wrapping it around. Maybe that's a little bit more of a sure bet. Less chaos. Then on the back side, I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive. I always put more adhesive on the back side of the ribbon. This one I'm not going to put a whole bunch of tear and tape, which is what I normally do. I think it's going to be just fine on there. Centered on there, and then I'm going to lay this onto my card and flip it over so that I can put adhesive just on the part that is going to be stuck to the front of the card. So there and there. And now that I know exactly where it is, I can lay it on here, and I'm just going to put this just in line here. So I've got my piece here that's been colored. Now we get to the fussy cutting. Some people love it, some people hate it. I love it actually. Now I can do a bit of it. I can do like 20 of these. That's crazy. But I can do a few of them, no problem. And what has really made a difference for me in the years that I've been crafting is to think of your scissors as staying straight, and you're just using the broad blade, not the tip, and you're going to pivot your paper around. So quite loosely, I'm just pivoting this around to follow the design, and then it ends up just kind of flowing and working. Sometimes you have to go back and trim a little bit that maybe got a little bit pointy, but I find that if you are using the broad part of the blade, not the tip, then you will find that it works quite well. You can go as detailed as you want here. You can go around individual leaves if you want, but for this one I'm just going to kind of do it a little bit more loosely. Now I don't like to use the tip because some scissors, these ones are actually really good, but some scissors when you snip just like that, at the end there will be like a little sideways tear that happens. So I don't like to use the tip of the scissors unless I really have to, like if you're using them to maybe do a fish flag end or something like that, then you kind of have to use the tip sometimes, but use that broad edge as much as possible. That'll help you out tremendously. And I find that just keeping my hands still makes my hand not cramp as much either. This is flowing really nicely tonight. I'm really happy I haven't snipped anything crazy, and I think it's going to look really good popped onto the front of that card. If you start getting a big tail, just snip it off, and then you've got a little bit less to get hung up on. So what do you think? Are you team fussy cut? Or are you like me, you don't mind a little fussy cutting? Or are you like, no way, Jose, I'm choosing another embellishment to go on the front of my card right now? Write it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I don't like to make you fussy cut very much. And Kathy does an amazing job of doing the die cutting. Usually she's doing most of the die cutting every month. So thank you to Kathy for providing that amazing service for all of us. But this one doesn't have a die that goes along with it. When I show you the designer series paper, you'll see how it actually came and how it ended up coming to look like this on your project. There we go. Talked my way through that one. Dimensionals, where are you? Got a bunch of weird little sheets. Here we go, that's a better one. Got like mini dimensionals cut in half all over the place. Those are like booby traps. Okay, I've got those snipped off. Oh my goodness, I love the colors of this card. And I just want to make sure that it's going to match up here and work around my saying. Ta-da! That's so fun, isn't it? I have to show you the card that it came from because she might be watching, you guys. She's famous. Christina made a swap card with this kind of pop-up design, and I was so inspired by that. So thank you, Christina. I'll show you the card that she made here. So Christina said she got this double-decker pop-up card by Patty Dolan, so papercrafters.com, and this is her version of the card, which is just like, oh, so stunningly gorgeous. I don't know if you can see that she's got stamped sand on there, and then these are the waves rolling up, including vellum and white on there too. Happy birthday with a whole bunch of little die cut pieces and embellishments. The beautiful wave embossing folder, and then as you open it up, she's got stamped there, hoping your day is perfect. I love this card. So thank you, Christina. You're amazing. And now you've got another version of that card that you can give out too. I love copy and share everything, right? We can get inspired by so many different things. So this one is kind of a mishmash of sweets and products. I won't lie. I was inspired by a few different things. And mostly this color scheme of using these soft pinks along with this deep secret sea color. The designer series paper for this back piece here comes from Beautiful Ordinary Life. And this one has a whole bunch of different patterns in it that are so unique, so different. So the piece that we use actually ends up looking like this. And it's very, very ombre color. So you can see how light it is on this side, and it goes to deeper and darker here. It has these lines over the top of it. The back side of that, black and white. Then we've got very, very colorful sheets of paper. So this one here, I kind of call this like the feature sheet, because it's just, to me, like spectacular with all these big bursts of color. And then, so you don't have this many. This is just left over from an event that we did. You've got these cute little pool party polka dots. You got this stripe going on, and you got some other ones in this pack too, but I don't have them left over. But you'll notice the back side of these are all black and white. Very geometric patterns, but no color on the back side. Lots of color on the front side. That is not where this image came from, and that's not where this designer series paper came from though. That's a different pack. So the one that I've got there with the color on the one side and not the other side is called Beautiful Ordinary Life, and it's featured on page 28 of our catalog. The paper that this comes out of is a totally different pack, even though it's just black and white. This pack has zero color in it at all. This is called Artisan Sketch Garden, and the piece of paper that has those phases on it looks like this. You get 25 of them, and then a couple partials that you can see here, like this one here is partial. And then the rest of the pack has these beautiful florals on one side. So you can see beautiful floral designs, bigger florals, smaller florals. And then the back side of them are all black and white as well. So just a reminder that Beautiful Ordinary Life has very colorful on the one side and then black and white on the other side. The Artisan Sketched Garden is the one that's black and white completely from start to finish. This shimmer vellum is a really special product. It's called Sunset Shimmer Vellum. It's actually a part of the suite that has, we used it last month actually, those beautiful sunsets, designer series paper. Oh, I dropped some paper here, you guys. There we go. But this one here is really beautiful. It's vellum, so you can see through it, right? But it's got that shimmer on it, and it comes in balmy blue, barely blush, and iridescent. So depending on the card that you have, you might have the iridescent or the barely blush. The barely blush is the more pink version. The iridescent almost looks like a vanilla color that has a bit of shimmer on it. And what else do we use on this card? Oh, the embellishments. Those ones are from our new in colors. They're really cute. I've got a lot of them snipped away. You can see I used a lot of the pinks already. But these are called the 2026 to 2028 in color dots. They're really shimmery, almost iridescent looking as well. But they come in our 5 new in colors. And then our ribbon is one of our 5 new in color ribbons. It is just called a bordered ribbon, and this is the barely blush color. You can get that in the catalog too. Sending Salutations is the stamp set that I used, and it's got so many beautiful sayings, and I love the scriptiness and then the big bold uppercase letters too. And there you have it, folks. If you're on my newsletter list, stay tuned. Tomorrow you will receive in your inbox all the dimensions for these cards. And now it comes to one of my favorite parts, and maybe one of the most important parts of Card Club to me, where you type in which is your favorite card of the month. Maybe you liked this fun pop-up card, the fun fold card. Maybe you liked this fun little garden with all the flocking, the velvety paper. Maybe you were entranced by this moody fern glen. Maybe you're super happy about rainbows, just like me and my daughter, and you like this little vellum rainbow. And maybe you just are loving on these thank you cards. Maybe one of these that you got there. So Priscilla says fussy cutting is peaceful. I love that because, yeah, I'm going to make you do it occasionally. I'm glad you're feeling peace when you're doing it. What do I love best? I don't know. I am a sucker for a fun fold, so I am very grateful to Christina for giving me a template that I could work off of. That's always so nice for me to be able to measure things and work off that. But if I had to choose a favorite, I think it's 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙀's card that I got as a swap that I just think is so fun, so different. And I really love that little bit of metallic on there. So write in the comments. I would love to hear what you love best. I'm so grateful for you joining me for this crafting experience. Truly, I just cherish our monthly online card club as a way of connecting on a regular basis. And I hope that you reach out to me about some of my past card club kits too, because there's a wealth of information. There's incredible products that we had in the past. We don't have them in the catalogs anymore, but this is your way of getting your hands on the designer series paper, the embossing folder, the embellishments, everything that came before, and you just add a little saying on there and completely customize it and make it your own. So please reach out. I would absolutely love to craft along with you with some of my past kits. I have some left over even from far back as 2023. And guys, these cards in 2023, I was doing like crazy fun folds, multiple fun folds. So please reach out. They're really, really awesome cards, and you can definitely craft along with them at your convenience. You can even watch me and fast forward on YouTube. Did you know that? You can speed up the recording, and you can watch me even up to 2 times, 3 times speed. And you can pause me when you want and go back as well. So use those resources. They're there for you, and I would love to have you crafting along with me with the prep supplies too. So they're available for purchase, or you can also earn them for free as well with a minimum purchase of products each month. So reach out to me. I'd love to craft along with you no matter where you are in the world. Or if you're in Canada, you can actually have those physical supplies sent to you, those physical prepped projects sent to you. So please reach out. I would love to craft with you. So thanks so much for joining in, and I hope to stamp with you again really soon.